وَإِن مِّن قَرْيَةٍ إِلَّا نَحْنُ مُهْلِكُوهَا قَبْلَ يَوْمِ الْقِيَامَةِ أَوْ مُعَذِّبُوهَا عَذَابًا شَدِيدًا كَانَ ذَلِكَ فِي الْكِتَابِ مَسْطُورًا. And there is not a single town and city that will escape, but they'll all be destroyed. And those which escape destruction will be punished with terrible punishment. And this is inscribed in the book. If you approach the verse as a schoolboy, you will say, well then, that's the end of the world, because every town and every city will be destroyed. That's what the verse is saying. But if you approach the verse as a scholar, and you go to the totality of the Quran, you know that Allah will not destroy a city which does not deserve to be destroyed. That will be unjust. So now we have to modify and say, no town and no city which deserves to be destroyed will escape in this war which is coming. So this is not a random war. This is the war in which the Lord God will destroy every town and every city which ought to be destroyed. Which are those towns and cities which ought to be destroyed? Answer? The most obvious answer is that Allah destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah for their homosexuality. And when He destroyed them so that they sunk to the lowest part of the earth. There's no part of the earth lower than that. This is called the Dead Sea. And He destroyed them and said, I leave this as a sign for you. That's in the Quran. That if you return to this homosexuality, I will return with my destruction. So when you see the law in the land declares that a man can marry another man and get a marriage certificate, you know that is a city which is doomed for destruction. Doomed for destruction. And who are those who are now making legislation that a man can marry another man and get a marriage certificate? They are Christians. Yeah. America is a Christian country. Britain is a Christian country. France is this is Christianity of this side, the western side. And they're putting pressure on us. If you don't enact the legislation, you're not going to get aid from the World Bank. You're not going to get money from the IMF. We're going to do this to you. We're going to do that for you. You have to make the legislation. And they started with, you know what? The age at which a girl can be married. And now the whole world has agreed with them. And there's legislation all over the world that if you are 17 years of age, haram, you cannot get married. So for the first time in human history, we know that all of human history that came before were all donkeys. And the only sensible people are those who are now living today. Because for thousands of years, a 17-year-old girl could get married. Even the prophets of Allah will perform the marriage ceremony. But now the new religion in this most enlightened age says, no, prohibited. She has to be 18. Well, wait. Those of you who support that legislation, wait for the day when you have to stand before Allah. Yes, wait for that day. We have nothing more to say. So tomorrow they're going to force you to have legislation in your country that a man can marry a man and get a marriage certificate. But what about the other Christian world? This one over here says a man can marry another man and get a marriage certificate. That one says not in 1,000 years. Get lost. So they're not the same. The two Christian worlds, they're not the same. Which one will be destroyed by Allah? Answer: the one which returns to what was done before, and Allah destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, He will destroy you again. Will He destroy those? They don't deserve to be destroyed. They say, not in 1,000 years will we ever agree to a man marrying another man and getting a marriage certificate. No. So it appears to me as though Allah will protect them in this war, and these will be destroyed.